Do you want to know what the number one problem that most of my students have when they're learning the Sinawali? You would be wrong if you thought it would be learning the pattern. It's actually that as soon as I introduce any kind of variation, that's when they start to struggle. And this variation could be something as simple as just changing the direction in which they're doing it. I'm Tuhon Aditya, and today I want to share with you one drill that I really believe will help you master this pattern. Before I teach you the drill, it's important to understand why this pattern is important. Now don't worry, I'm going to keep the why quite short. But your ability to understand the why is directly going to affect your ability to master this pattern. Now when we're working with double weapons, we have a couple of problems. The biggest one is coordinating both weapons together. Now the easiest way to learn the skill of coordinating two weapons together is by teaching it to us through the use of patterns. Now the kind of patterns we use or the kind of patterns we choose to learn are also very important. If you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know that there are three patterns that I like to use most often when I'm teaching somebody the basics of coordinating double weapon. The first is following patterns. So one weapon is following the other weapon. The second is crossing patterns, where the weapons are crossing each other. And the third is any pattern that combines the two. And this is where your Sinawali or your weaving comes into play. A quick note, you will often see patterns that are most commonly called Sinawali, except Sinawali is not one pattern. Sinawali is a pattern of movements or weaving movements. So you can have a whole bunch of different variations and varieties of Sinawali or weaving patterns. The advantages of your Sinawali of any variation are that they can be used for offense, counter offense, or can be used to strike at your opponent multiple times, almost like a machine gun. So instead of me going 1, 2, 1, 2 in the span of a very short time, I can be hitting him multiple times at multiple different levels and from multiple different angles. One more thing that makes the Sinawali so great is that you can find this pattern across all weapon platforms in the Filipino martial arts, whether it's double stick or single stick, double knife, empty hands, single knife, even stick and knife. You will find variations of the Sinawali in all of these weapon systems. The drill we're going to be working on today is called the Sinawali 12. Now even though the individual variations that make up this drill were known to me, the drill in this particular structure was taught to me by Tuhon Kanishk. The reason I've chosen this drill is because it covers the major patterns that you find in the Sinawali, as well as level changes and different chambering positions. The structure of the drill also forces you to be present in the moment rather than just doing mindless repetition. We're going to start by me showing you the drill, and then we're going to break it down into its individual parts. So the drill consists of 4 sets of 3 movements, thus making it 12. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now let's break down each set individually. The first one is your standard, what we call in Pekiti upper 8, or you might know it as heaven 6. I'm going to go a high attack, and a high attack. Now the angles are up to you. I prefer doing an angle 1, an angle 2, and either an angle 2 tuck under my shoulder, or from here an angle 10 or a vertical strike under my shoulder, but you can also even have it as an angle 1 and bring it under your shoulder. What's important here is that all 3 strikes are high. You can also do these as fluid strikes, which means with a follow through, or broken strikes, which means without a follow through. The second combination is going to be high, high, low. So we go high, high, low. In this one, the first 2 can be fluid and the low attack can be broken, or all 3 attacks can be broken. But what's important is that it's a high angle 1, a high angle 2, and then I'm striking down to the knees and then tucking it under my shoulder. The third variation is high, low, high. Here also you can go fluid, 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 or broken, broken, broken. But what's important is that it's high, low, high, or angle 1. This can be my angle 4 and then angle 2 as well. Now a quick note about this low attack. We say it's low, but it's more sort of medium. I like to at least have this as a reverse diagonal rather than coming down to the knees like the rest of the low attacks are going to be here. However, you can do that as well. You can go high, low down to the knees, and then high as well. But what I like to do is high, reverse diagonal, high. So the reverse diagonal sometimes tends to be around the body, so think of it as either low or medium. The last one is high, low, low. So again, it can be fluid, fluid, broken, or broken, broken, broken. Now a major obstacle in this drill is having your sticks not collide with each other. So that has to do with the journey that your sticks take, the coordination that you have between each stick, and how you chamber your sticks. I'm going to give you two major notes when it comes to chambering for this drill. The first one is I go high. Once I move with the second attack, now I don't have too much space on this shoulder for both sticks to fit. And so I go high. This stick is not going to come on top of my shoulder. It's going to come to the side of my shoulder, somewhere in like between a medium load and a cross load. Not on top of my shoulder, but to the side. This is going to now free up space for this third hand to go out there and attack. The second tip is going to be for when I'm firing that low attack. So let's say I go high, high. Now when I want to fire low, I need to pull my stick back in a way that it gives me room to attack down low. So it's probably going to be a slightly more circular retraction than if I was coming up high. So this will probably be a little bit more circular, giving me room for my low attack to be shot out. The last thing I want to keep in mind is that as one attack has been retracted, the next one is coming out. As one is being retracted, the next one is coming out. Lastly, we're going to cover the order of the strikes. Now this is what you really have to work and be focused on. I'm not going to be going high, 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 and then going to the next variation. So I'm not going to be doing each variation on each side. I'm going to be going high, 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 low, high, low, high, high, low, low, and I'm back to the same side. So it's 12 strikes in total. That's what makes it the Sinawali 12, and that makes one whole cycle. So you have to remember the order, you have to remember the chambering position, and you have to remember the coordination. Also, if you guys are enjoying this content, then we have a new Patreon page up. I'm going to leave a link to that down below. If you guys want more of these variations and a whole bunch of exclusive content, please do go check that out and support the channel and the school. It means a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can do it like this, where you're doing an open triangle footwork and every 12 you're switching legs, or you can have every time that you go from one variation to the other or one set of 4 to the other, you are switching legs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Either of them work, but make sure that you spend equal amounts of time training, starting this from your right side and starting this from your left side, because you are going to be ending up on the same side at the end of this drill every single time. So have equal number of reps right side, equal number of reps left side. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave that in the comments down below. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, please also leave that in the comments down below. A huge thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to learn more about our Patreon page, check out the link I'm going to leave in the description down below.